boys ready?
I'm ready.
Sure. What was that voice?
That's my
Cool guy voice.
really a joke. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bitcade. My name is Ryan Amore, but joining me are these two gentlemen over here. That's right, I'm not in the center anymore. Because
You're not the center of attention.
not anymore. Not anymore, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Yep. And David.
We're all right now, right?
Welcome to Bitcade. This is the official video game podcast of Primal Target, the official one. Not that other stuff.
Not the knockoff.
This
one.
is the official one.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to be talking about E3. We are going to be talking about some consoles of the past. And we're also going to be talking about some games that we really want to review. But more on that later. We're going to first talk about some E3. Yes, E3 happened last month. Things have happened.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. I mean, technically when this video comes out, it will be a week. Anyway. So some things have been announced since E3, but we're not going to talk about those things. We're strictly talking about what was announced at E3 at the conferences. We did not go to E3, but we were just what we saw, what we thought. So our kind of take on what the games may have stood out to us. So I have here a list of the conferences of what was announced, and in order. It's more of just because I didn't organize that as well. I was just kind of writing stuff. But most of the games that were announced, I wrote here, except Microsoft threw in that whole indie cluster that they always do. That just go rapid fire. So the first thing is we're gonna kick it on right off. We gotta jump right into it because it's gonna be a long one. EA went out on Saturday. They had a big conference. They always do it early. They don't even do it at E3. It's called EA Play or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the EA one?
I did, yeah.
Did you watch EA?
Is that the one where it has the guy that's memeing? He's like, "Hi, I'm a YouTuber."
Yes. Oh man, that was brutal, and we will get to that. So
yeah, I watched part of it.
So Madden 18 was kicked off right off the bat, and we're getting a story mode called Long Shot. Now, here's what I've heard about this story mode: you don't play any football in it.
Yeah.
Which is weird because in FIFA you get the story mode, which I've heard is really good. I don't know if have you played a FIFA game in a while?
No, I haven't played a FIFA game in a few years.
Yeah.
I tend to, when it comes to sports games, I tend to get one and then wait a couple cycles and then I'll get the other one. I'm thinking about getting this next FIFA one. I haven't, because the last one I think I got was 15.
All right.
No, 13. It's been a while.
Yeah, Messi on that one, right?
Yes.
He's on the cover of everything.
Almost
And then because in that one they have a story mode with what's his face, and it's called The Journey or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I think he's like an actual actor. I don't think he's an actual football.
Yeah, he's an actor.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not. I didn't recognize him. So
yeah,
I am one who watches soccer, like international soccer and all that. So like when I saw him, he is not like some known player.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because like and apparently people liked it enough.
That's good.
Because we'll get to that in a second. So Battlefield 1 was talked about, their DLC. Your guys from that Battlefield thing on YouTube, the noob was in there. He did his own thing. He did his thing, and
they won this year.
They actually pro?
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Battlefront thing.
No,
Again, their team against Stone Mountain 64.
Oh no, not that one.
Because when they did it for the Battlefield 1 last E3, they lost.
Ooh, bummer. They announced that there's two night maps that are coming to Battlefield 1. They look really nice.
Yeah.
There's also Eastern Front of World War 1, which is 6 new maps. Women's Battalion of Death, which is interesting. Coming September, and it's called In the Name of the Tsar, I think is the name of it.
Yeah, that's the Tsar is the Russian president of the time.
So it makes sense for it to be on the Eastern Front. They also talked about there's going to be some new FIFA esport thing. There's going to be a new tournament to involve more. Yep. FIFA 18, which led into FIFA 18, which The Journey returned back. It is called Hunter's Return. That was mainly all they talked about. They didn't talk really about mechanics or anything like that.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure there's some tweaks here
yeah,
and
I'm
there,
sure
but
there's some tweaks here and there, but when it comes to the sports games, like the gameplay doesn't really change.
Do you think like the
that
sports
much.
games have realized like they only tweak so much they don't actually talk about that anymore? They more
I
of talk
feel like-
about the bigger deals.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case. I feel like it's to the point with sports games where you should just release like a main game and then just send like an update,
It probably will
like
not
like a DLC
but
update.
people still buy those $60 games.
Well, the thing is like you just pay like buy FIFA 18 this year, right? When it comes out, and then next year we'll have FIFA 19, just be like a $40 download.
See what I'm thinking?
Update.
At that point, you're just gonna have to call it FIFA.
Well,
Don't
yeah.
even call it a number.
No,
anymore.
yeah, I think you just
Well,
I'm sure they have to call it like EA's FIFA because I doubt they would be able to legally just call it FIFA.
yeah. FIFA soccer or something like that.
Yeah,
Or, yeah, I
knowing
guess it would be.
FIFA, they'll probably be like, nope, you can't do that.
Yeah.
We're gonna sue you for $1 billion.
There's also Need for Speed Payback was announced. New Need for Speed game coming. Do you hear about this? You're not too impressed with the Need for Speed game.
I haven't been a fan of Need for Speed since like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, like 2, like on the original
You were
PlayStation.
giggling over here. I'm curious.
It's a good game.
It's a good game.
It's a cool
The
game.
Need for Speed series is a good game.
It's a cool game.
Yeah. Did you see a little bit of it? They apparently are following 3 characters: Tyler, Jess, and Matt. And it's open world, so there's that for you. High intense action. See, I wrote down Fast and the Furious because it reminded me a little bit like that Fast and the Furious kind of.
So is it like, are
aspect
they
of
going
it.
for like a GTA 5, but more race
I
focused?
don't think they're going GTA 5 with it, but like I think it's more Forza, like open world.
Like
do whatever
Forza
you want.
Horizon 3?
Yeah, like the
Gotcha.
Horizon series. And then they showed some gameplay.
But
of
then
that
why
and stuff.
have 3 protect? I don't know.
Maybe they want to. Yeah, I see what you're
They
saying.
each drive
You know what I'm
differently.
saying? Yeah.
What else? They talked about EA Originals, which is their little indie stuff.
Yeah.
A Way Out, which was kind of interesting. This is like I
That's
wrote
the-
that
that's the
Shawshank
two-player-
Redemption
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that looks interesting. I would love
Yeah.
to play that with someone.
because the cool thing is it's couch co-op.
Yeah.
and it's from the creators of Brothers. You ever played Brothers?
I know of it. I haven't actually
No,
played
So-
it.
I've never heard
I
of
know
that
of it.
game.
So Brothers was a game that you played by yourself, but you controlled 2 characters at the same time. So you controlled the older brother with the left stick and the younger brother with the right stick, and so you had to like move them around and then pick up things and then do that. So this game is kind of the same thing. You play, for example, if we're playing, the screen gets split in half, and then we have to decide, okay, who's going to distract the guard while so and so goes and gets the object. So if we're breaking out of prison, we have to do that. So you decide, okay, I'm going to go get the thing. You go do this. And so my side of the screen will be me doing that, and your side of the screen will be this cutscene of you deciding what to say to distract the guard.
Oh,
It looks
okay.
really cool. You can also play it online, so there's not like you
so
don't have to sit on.
play-
But I feel like the game's
I feel like
designed,
that's what it's for. Yeah.
to be in that
And I
situation.
think it looks interesting. I think it looks something like fresh.
Yeah.
You know, that's what makes me excited about it. Is that it's something new. I hope it.
And it
does
looks really
well.
good quality too.
Yeah.
Like for what it is.
Yeah.
Big game announced at EA as well. From BioWare. You may have these people, BioWare.
I know them a little
Yeah,
bit.
new
Just a
IP
little.
called Anthem. We'll get to more in depth of that, but I wanted to step in because the
it's-
Microsoft conference they do talk about
And
this, so we'll get into
it's
that. a little bit.
from. I just want to point. It's from BioWare proper, not BioWare Montreal, who
Yeah,
made
this
Mass
is-
Effect Andromeda.
These
Yeah,
are
that's
the
what I
guys
heard
who
about
made
It
too.
is the BioWare team.
that
so-
made Mass Effect the
yeah,
first one.
that made pretty much everything
Yeah.
else.
NBA Live coming back from a long hiatus.
Yeah, no longer going to be 2K.
Yeah, so now there are 2
whatever.
basketball games. There's a free demo in August, and there's a thing called The One, and it's spelled exactly like that. That's what's weird about it. It's kind of a story mode-ish. I don't know. They weren't really explaining it very well, but it's like from the streets to the rings, and so like you play on the street ball, and then you get the rings too, and then there's like a 5v5. It's a 5-on-5 pickup games are in the thing too.
I mean, that sounds interesting. I think it's something, like I said, fresh to the basketball game stuff because I don't believe like NBA 2K does anything like that.
Yeah. Another thing was obviously this long thing was Star Wars Battlefront 2.
No,
They did like a whole hour of the
Mm-hmm.
gameplay, threw it into the conference. You watched the Star Wars Battlefront thing. Did you pick up Star Wars Battlefront, the first one?
No.
Okay, yeah.
I
it was
did.
stupid to pick that up. Yeah,
I
did too.
I put about. I think I only got to like rank 20 something.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is like
I got bored.
it felt like half a game.
I got bored.
Yeah. And it was like it's weird though, because when you play Battlefront, you're like, okay, I'm fine with this just being campaign. Like a lot of people don't even play the campaign; they just go right into multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they have that option, I don't know. It's weird about those types of games.
Yeah, I find it weird when people complain about that there's no single player in a game that's primarily meant for multiplayer. When I understand like their opinions, and their opinions are absolutely 100% valid. But I mean, the meat of the game is the multiplayer.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I don't know. Like I know this Battlefront 2 is gonna have a single player.
Looks pretty cool.
DICE is not, other than their Bad Company 2 games where there's like a lot of personality injected into it. I don't see their single player campaigns for like their other military shooters just aren't that great.
I haven't played like the only game I have from actually DICE made Battlefield, right? Like is there a division of DICE that makes Battlefield 1?
DICE makes the Battlefield games. Yeah.
So there's 2 divisions now that make.
I believe there is, now.
Okay, that's
but for a while it was just DICE.
So they talked about it from Return of the Jedi all the way to The Force Awakens. So you get episode 1 through 7.
Yeah,
preferably
I think
also
content,
8 as well.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like, I think sure it's not canon to have Darth Maul running around fighting Rey, but who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
It says there's 3 times the content that was mentioned at the
I
the
think
press
that's
conference.
I think that's kind of sad when you have to be like, there's 3 times
Don't
the
worry,
content.
I like how they went up there and they talked about how like we've heard the fans.
Well, like,
it's like
I gotta
we
give
heard
them
the
props
fans.
for like at least acknowledging that they messed up there.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And yeah.
What was interesting, and I didn't talk about this, and I want to know more about this, was that it said they mentioned couch co-op skirmish.
Mm-hmm.
So, does that mean now we can play on the same console? Like, is that what that's
you
saying?
can do that
to
with
me?
the first one.
You can?
You can play split screen in the first Battlefront game. Yeah, it's
I did
just
not know
like
that.
it's just like a horde mode. That's all you can play.
Yeah. Oh, that's what this is.
So this is what they're talking skirmish is you're probably doing the big battles against just AI
Oh.
in split screen,
Okay.
not online.
They also mentioned the more heroes, and obviously clarifying. You get the Darth Mauls, you get the
Yeah,
Boba
you
Fetts,
get
you get
everybody,
Jango's.
yeah.
Hopefully, Jango's Unchained.
Do I get to be Jar Jar Binks then?
Maybe, I don't know. He's not confirmed yet.
No, he'll
Finn
just
was
show
confirmed.
up. No,
so.
he'll just show up, and all Jar Jar Binks does is he has the ability of luck, and wherever he goes, like people get healed,
Exactly.
shots deflected, and
He
he's
doesn't
just
do
fly-
anything.
Yeah,
He
he
just
doesn't
runs
do anything.
around.
But he's
Yeah.
like the best buffer in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just support. Yeah, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's just
They also did space battles. So they talked about space battles a little bit more. All eras was clarified again. There's a new class system now. Actually, just like in Star Wars Battlefront 2 on PlayStation and PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
The real Star Wars
Was
Battlefront.
exactly. Now there are classes again. So now there's a sniper class, this class. So you can't just pick a character and call it good. They talked about battle points. So apparently these are points that you are going to use to unlock more.
Yeah, I
stuff.
actually saw it in action during the games because I'm a big fan of Neves Gaming, and they were the ones that did. They were
Those are the guys that
they
do
were the head of one of the teams because one is Stone Mountain 64 and his team, and then there's
Twitch, yeah.
Neves Gaming and their team, and they played against each other in the demo, in the live stream demo where they demoed the battle of the Boo, or I can't remember the name of
Yeah, the one that was in the
but
the little trailer thing.
so I was watching them, and yeah, the way it works is you your score also translates to points, and then you can spend those points to upgrade to different characters. You can upgrade their current character with different gear, and you spend it like
kind of do that in the first one. With guns, you got points and you spent them on.
Well,
stuff
you got like
that.
money that you could unlock for your character to just have. This is more like you can unlock upgrades. Think of it like purchasing an item in a MOBA. Okay, think of it like you're taking your character,
But you keep it though.
You keep it for the round.
So it is like a MOBA where you just
Kind of.
purchase
That
like
was
a
that
little
was
mini
the
upgrade.
impression I got, is that because you buy it, because like let's say you're playing just a basic stormtrooper, right? Just a basic
Yeah.
stormtrooper. Then you can upgrade to like a more heavily defended stormtrooper. He's got like some armor, maybe like a big, and then you can get. And then for him, you can get like a Gatling gun or like this other ability.
But you don't get to keep that.
You don't keep it after the game ends.
I don't know if I like
remember that right.
I don't know if I like that at all.
So.
So yeah. You can use them to purchase coming in as a hero as well.
Yeah.
Vehicles,
if you wanted to,
well.
you can just save your points and you can just get like a hero.
Yeah. They showed some gameplay, obviously, for a very long time, for about like a half an hour.
Well, it's because they showed them actually like battling.
Yeah.
You know.
Then they talked about Finn and Captain Phasma making their appearance in there. John Boyega coming on there, saying he tweeted out to the Star Wars Battlefront team and said he wanted to be in the game and he's going to be in the game. And then he said if you see a Finn running around kicking a whole bunch of butt, that's him. So. They also talked about seasons of content will be free.
I know. I think
free
that's awesome.
DLC.
Good.
The Last Jedi will be the first of the DLC. So Episode 8 will be the first part of that DLC.
The nice thing that I like about this is the fact that you're not splitting up your player base, and I think that's been the biggest problem with shooters in particular, especially when it comes to the DICE games, because the DICE makes really good expansions. But like in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, but like I loved playing those expansion maps, but after like the first like 2 weeks or so of it being out, those servers would just die because everybody would just go back to the vanilla maps because that's what's populated.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad to see that. I'm sure it was DICE that pushed heavily for this. I'm assuming. I don't know. I can't confirm anything. I'm just assuming that it was DICE, so that way they can maintain their player base over all the maps, because I'm assuming it's just going to be the maps are free. Okay, I bet you the heroes are going to probably be locked. Just to be honest with you.
Well, if you're using points to buy the heroes, they're probably gonna. Yeah, they'll probably do exactly like how Halo 5 is.
Yeah.
Where you buy the rec packs, and you use those to do.
I think the maps will be free just so that it doesn't lock the players out of the maps. But I think like the heroes and the new classes, if they implement new classes, those will probably be behind a paywall.
So moving. Oh, you got any final words with the EA thing?
No, I was just listening to what you said about that. It kind of makes sense, yeah.
But I feel like I'm glad to see that it's EA doing that, because usually when EA does something,
not very good.
It's
wins,
either does something good for the community. Usually, other developers and publishers follow suit.
So
I'm hoping.
Any final words for EA?
Not in particular, no.
How do you feel the EA conference went? Yeah. Well, how about this? We'll rate how they went with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay.
I mean, I guess it was a thumbs up.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of like the sports games. I like the FIFA games, but like I said, I haven't bought a Madden game since like the PlayStation 2.
What about you?
I like the jokes associated with it.
The jokes. I was gonna mention how Jesse went on there, but we're just gonna move on from that.
He embraced it. I saw on his Twitter. He was like, "I'm glad it became a meme."
Oh, so if you know who Jesse is from
YouTube,
Prank versus Prank, now he doesn't do that anymore, but he kind of messed up a little bit.
He's
on
like,
that
I'm a YouTuber and I got my buddy. I don't remember what.
Yeah, because he said it, and then he was like, so.
It's a good game.
Good game. And
it starts clapping.
It was not very good. Like the guy
didn't
that
he have
came
like
on there.
Didn't he have like a prompter to read and it wasn't working?
He was reading it. He just wasn't flowing with it very well.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it's a stressful situation.
Yeah, exactly.
You had one shot to do it.
It's in front of a giant crowd.
I've him going out there, that's breaking out of a lot of comfort zone, especially for YouTube.
And like everything stops for you too. So it's like, oh.
Yeah, because he was like, if you watch it over again, he's watching the trailer for Need for Speed, and then like, Jesse, and he turns around and he's like, oh, and then he starts talking because it caught him off guard. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Much respect for you.
Yeah.
But we go into Sunday, and now it is Xbox. This is the Xbox conference. This is the thing we've been all waiting for the Xbox, of trying to figure out what the heck this stupid Xbox Scorpio is, and we find out it's Xbox One X.
I think they should have stuck with Scorpio, personally.
I mean, it is a project name, so you can't.
Yeah, I know.
Someone pointed out, though, that I thought this was actually really clever if they did it intentionally. If you take the initials, it's Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I also did this, XOX. But yes, Oh my
It's-
gosh, it is.
it's Xbox,
It is
yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's just
Oh, okay. All right.
XBOX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I'm pretty sure that was intentional.
Oh, probably.
Which is kind of cool, but then that's also confusing because it's like, well, I mean, everyone
Yeah.
calls the Xbox an Xbox anyway, and
Yeah.
then you know.
Yeah. We found out it's coming in November 7th. Yeah, worldwide launch. It's Power is what they talked about. Power is true 4K, which for $500, and we'll get to that in a second, is pretty amazing. Because if you were to buy a PC that did exactly what that does, it's insane. Like this computer here is not 4K.
Well, the thing is there was a guy out there. I don't know the name. And I was watching it on a YouTube video, and they were pointing out that this guy went and built a PC that can play games just as good as the Xbox One X, but instead of 4K 60 frames or 4K 30 frames, that was the only difference. It came like $564 for that PC.
Mm-hmm.
So
But could he play the 4K Ultra HD stuff?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He just couldn't play it at 60 frames. That was the only thing.
So this is bumping that. So
Yeah.
So most likely Xbox is taking a loss on this one.
Xbox is probably taking they're either breaking even or taking a loss. Like, let's be honest. Yeah.
They talked about I think I wrote 8 million pixels, so that's obviously what they're
on
going to go for.
the whole
I
screen,
for some reason did not even correct my Dolby spelling here, but it's going to be running with Dolby, which is great because that means if you have that really cool LG TV that's compatible with the Dolby thing, they're running with that as well. But I mean, most consoles nowadays have that port in there that can run with Dolby surround sound. It's going to be running 4K Ultra HD. Not really surprised considering that
that's what they've been talking
Xbox
about
One
for
S.
forever.
I have a feeling that's the reason why, and it being true 4K across everything, and putting the 4K Blu-ray player bumped them up to $100. That from that $100 that the PS4 Pro is.
Well, the thing is just a regular true 4K Blu-ray player, just by itself, is like $300. Just for true 4K non-upscaling 4K. Yeah, it's like $300.
Compatibility is all the Xbox One accessories, which is not a shock now that they explained that it is still the Xbox One X. It's just a pro version of it.
Yeah.
Improves the 1080p. So here's the other thing. A lot of people question this. I get this a lot. Especially, I was talking with my mom about this because my brother wants an Xbox One X. But here's the situation on that would be if he doesn't have 4K TV, that's fine. It's still gonna up-res your 1080 because right now, if you play all Xbox One licensed games, then yes, you're playing at 1080, 60 frames at some point in time. If you're playing third-party games, you're not.
You're locked at 30. You're probably locked
and it's at 980p
980,
or something. Yeah. So if
like that's like what the
like
Switch,
The Witcher, like The Witcher is 980p.
Yeah, like the Switch is at 980.
Yeah.
So
that's what you're working with.
I mean, it's not. I mean, for a console, that's not bad. Like the only reason I don't know if I am gonna personally get one like right off the bat, but the only reason why I would really get it is for the bump in frame rate. I don't own a 4K TV.
Yeah, but you'll start seeing it still on your 1080.
Yeah, I'll start seeing it on my regular just standard flat screen TV, and that's the only thing that I see that's appealing to me is playing the games at a 60 frames a second.
Now here's something you might like, PC Man.
Okay.
We got liquid cooling going on in this thing. Liquid cooling in a console.
That's really weird.
Do you have liquid cooling in your PC?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Oh, okay. This has been considered.
I gotta start matching the Xbox One X.
So what is? Do you know what liquid cooling is? Because I'm not. Okay, can you explain that to me a little bit?
So
I know.
You know, regular. Well, okay, I will bump that. So all the consoles so far, and most PCs when you buy them pre-built or whatever, have fans on them to keep them cool. So liquid cooling is typically the reason why people get liquid cooling is just so that it's quieter rather than
because you're not hearing the
especially if you have a more demanding PC that has like 1080 or something like that, because then you'll need more fans and it'll just be like really loud.
Yeah, this sometimes will sound like a plane taking off. It has a 1070.
So liquid cooling is just has weird little water pack, I guess. And then every once in a while, it'll just have the water like sort of go against the metal, I guess, to keep it cool.
Is it water?
I believe it's just regular, or is it coolant?
It's a chemical
Oh,
liquid.
okay. I had a feeling it might be something like
Well,
that. But
you should like at some point look it up online. But they're basically graphic cards that have like a case around it that's full of this liquid that get cycles. I think it cycles it out through some point.
Because I've seen it at BYOC for packs. Like you get the special guys that are going in there with their $6,000 rigs. But I'm like, I never know what that liquid is. But have you seen that video? Oh gosh, it was maybe MSI that did it, where they put smoke in it, and so it like smokes up and changes colors based on heat temperature.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was weird. And then so going away from the liquid cooling, they also talk about how it's the smallest Xbox ever.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't expecting that.
And I'm already saying like the Xbox One S, that's pretty darn small. And now this one. The most powerful console, not the smallest console.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, I think it's
like this big.
I think it's.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think it's really astounding that they were able to
big
get.
As the Wii, the original Wii.
I think it might be. I think it might be as small as the Wii.
Yeah, I think it's kind of amazing that they're able to fit all that in that space.
So on to games. Like Phil Spencer wanted to get that all out of the way, so then he started talking about all these games. We got to see Forza Motorsport 7. So this is the now in circuit one. This is the simulation version of it. The more serious title. We got to see the premiere of a brand new Porsche 2018 911 GT2 RS. So that was a thing at a video game convention.
I'm sure there was a couple people that
60 frames per second.
Yeah, it looked great.
I'm sure that, there was a few people excited.
I'm sure
I
there
wasn't
was.
in particular, but then again, I've never owned a Forza game. The last racing game I owned was Project Cars.
If you do pick up a Forza game, pick up Horizon.
Well,
like that to me was like that's fun.
Every time, I would get Horizon.
It's gonna be running 4K 60 frames a second, so that's pretty cool. The cars rattle and vibrate is what I wrote down here, and I think it was more because like you could. I think they were explaining how you could feel the way that a car feels if you were in there, like based on your controller. You could feel how it works. The Xbox One, it'll be coming to Xbox One and Windows 10 as an exclusive, and there are over 700 cars in the game.
It's a lot of cars.
Yes, and it's coming in October 3rd, 2017.
Okay.
They also talked about how we're going to talk about 42 games, and then they confused everybody because some of those games weren't exclusives, but they said console exclusivity. Yeah. So 22 games were console exclusives. We talked about Metro Exodus from the Metro series. You ever played the Metro series?
I have.
No? Yeah.
I have. I haven't finished them.
Yeah.
But I've played them.
They
were interesting.
Like, you know what it is about, right?
No.
So it's like post-apocalyptic Russia and like all these alien like creature type things.
The wildlife has been like basically morphed and deformed into these creatures.
Yeah,
and,
pretty
it
gross
was interesting. The only issue I had with it is that the levels seem just really short, and there's a lot of loading screens, and that kind of turned me off.
So the thing about the Metro series. But I really enjoyed all this meta stuff too.
Yeah.
There's like books and all these other things. There's this whole weird timeline you have to follow. But they look always great.
Yeah.
They
even the
really
the remasters, because they were on.
Oh, that's right.
They came out on the PlayStation 3 and the 360 era, but they have the Redux 2-pack. That's what I have.
Yeah.
And they look amazing. I just can't get sucked into them enough to actually finish them.
Yeah. They also talked about they premiered Assassin's Creed Origins, which is the new Egyptian thing that they're going with.
I might give it a shot.
Yeah. It comes out October 27th as well. Then they talked about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds being an exclusive console launch. So the way that works, because a lot of people thought it was, and when I saw it, I was like, okay, it's not exclusive. It's just, but a lot of people were still thinking when they saw it at Xbox's conference, it was an exclusive. It's an exclusive console launch. So what that means is the game will be released late 2017 is what they said. and then after probably a year, which is usually how these work, it will be released on PS4 and probably not Switch. That'd be cool though.
I don't see that on this. not from a technical standpoint. I mean, from like a
Binding
Nintendo's,
Isaac's on it. Binding Isaac's on there.
Grand Theft Auto's on it too.
Yeah, I hope. Grand Theft Auto did get to the 3DS though, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Was it Chinatown?
Yeah, it was
Chinatown Wars. Yeah. They talked about Deep Rock Galactic, which has interactivity on Mixer. If you know what Mixer is, that's Microsoft's answer to Twitch. Yes. And it will be an Xbox exclusive.
I was confused because I went and checked out Mixer for a while. I know it's kind of off topic.
No, we're
I'm talking about Mixer right now because I went into Mixer and I went on Mixer just to see what was going on, and there was people playing like Final Fantasy 14 and like these PlayStation games on it.
Yeah,
and
because
I'm
you can
like,
go through Windows.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, is this coming out for the? Is this out in Japan already? And then, no, it made me sad.
Yeah. They also talked about a lot of people were looking forward to it for a long time. Is State of Decay 2.
I never played the first one just because there was no multiplayer. I remember that being like
you're
the
a PlayStation
big
person, so you didn't get to play, or did you get a PlayStation?
I don't know what State of Decay is.
State of Decay was not on the PlayStation.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like if you got to play it at all.
Because it looks interesting, but I feel like it would be a better experience in co-op.
Yeah, with State of Decay it's a zombie game.
It's like
GTA.
But
the problem with it is it's one player. Now, what I'm hoping is that this one's 2 players.
Oh no,
it was
no. They've said it's multiplayer.
This one is. Okay,
they did during the conference.
One,
That was like the big thing is that they.
Because cool game, great story.
Yeah, you build a base, you gather survivors to help defend it, you gather resources, and it's in this big open world. It's like a more polished DayZ, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I would
kind
say.
of.
Take H1,
Yeah.
take DayZ, take the multiplayer out of it.
Yeah.
Add a story to it, and there you go.
Yeah, and I felt like that game would have been a lot better, at least cooperative. Yeah,
it came out on 360.
In the 360.
Oh, it came out on 360. Okay.
Yeah.
This one's gonna be the sequel to it. There is there's an
HD on the one, but yeah, I would have been all in it if I could have played it with some other person. I think just even co-op would have made it better.
The other game they talked about was the Dawn Project. Now this is an exclusive, as far as I know, but they were really targeting the esports situation because they had this shoutcaster on there, and he's like, "Yo, no, so and so's doing this."
I remember that. I don't remember the game, but I remember him.
It
and
looked kind of cool. Like the art was kind of cool, but there's also interconnectivity with Mixer. That threw me off because now it's like, okay, can I play this game and not have to stream? Because I really don't want to I don't want to stream on Mixer. Like, you can't force me to buy this game and then go play on Mixer.
Maybe you get like some sort of
people
Mixer
throw you
skin.
stuff. People throw you stuff into the game, like a battle gauntlet kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah. They also talked about Minecraft, obviously Microsoft's big old purchase years ago.
Yeah,
is making them a ton of money.
I'm actually really excited
What's
for this
Minecraft?
update for Minecraft.
It's this weird game about. It's kind of like Legos, okay?
Legos.
Yeah.
I should have said it's kind of like Mega Blocks, just really go off the beaten path. Now they really talked about playing together. This was a main topic they talked about. Uniting PC, mobile, VR, and console.
Oh, so they can all play together now?
Except for PlayStation.
Except for PlayStation. Everybody but PlayStation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I got
Did
some
you?
here.
Now I know we're not talking about stuff that's come out since, but I have to point this out that it
Yeah,
has
go
been
ahead.
said with the Minecraft cross-platform to play with Xbox. The person not on the Xbox has to have Xbox Live. Has to be a member.
Oh, okay. That
So
makes
like
sense,
if
though.
like if Rebecca
So you sign in through an Xbox Live account
you will
to play
sign off
with.
to like a Microsoft Live account, yes. And if you're not,
So if I'm on Switch,
yes. So
there will be a little prompt.
Yeah, there should be a prompt for it. So like if
That
like
makes
if
sense.
like if we bought Minecraft for the Switch and Rebecca wanted to play with the Switch and I want to play on the Xbox with her, she would need to be an Xbox Live member. I think you need to be a gold member. Like you have to have the $60 like that kind of a member, and she's not. So like in order for us to do that, she'll have to become an Xbox Live Gold member.
I don't see the problem with it.
Well, I mean, it's just another $60 that we'll have to pay.
I mean, but it
just to
makes,
play Minecraft.
If it didn't make sense for that though,
no,
then I would be mad
the reason
about
why,
it.
no,
But,
it does make sense, and the reason why is Microsoft says that doing it through Microsoft or through the Xbox Live allows them to kind of police everybody else, because that's what Sony claims to be their big reason why they're not doing the cross-platform, is because we can't, stop the harassers from Xbox or anything like that. But that's why Xbox, through like the Switch, is doing it through Xbox Live, so then that way they can have some form of reinforcement.
Yeah,
which makes no sense to Sony. But whatever.
They also talked about
it's just Sony being Sony.
Massively community ran servers, so that kind of goes with it. Maybe that's they're able to do this. They also talked about there's going to be a 4K update in the fall. The reason why I wrote this down, as much as it's weird to see Minecraft in 4K, it does look great. But the other situation is that updates will be coming for the Xbox One X. For Minecraft, it's going to be free. I'm assuming some other titles have said that they are going to be getting some updates as well that are already out. Like Final Fantasy's getting one, and I'm pretty sure that one's free too.
Usually those updates are free.
Especially
with Minecraft. The only thing that you really have to pay for in Minecraft is skins and texture packs.
They talked about the super duper graphics update.
I love the name.
That's actually what it's called.
I love the name.
Here's something, Quinn, you've seen here on the list. Dragon Ball. Like, I couldn't remember what the thing is called, but
Dragon
it's a Dragon
Ball Fighter Z.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's an Xbox exclusive? Question mark?
Oh, is it really?
Is what I wrote down. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. But it comes out early 2018. But a lot of people liked it. Love the.
It's made by.
It's made by the people that did.
Well, he's the Dragon Ball guy.
I know, but the company that's making it, like the fighting game part of it, is.
It's made by the people who made Guilty Gear.
Yeah. It's made by somebody who's already made like fighting games and has like an established.
I don't know if it is Arc System Works that made Guilty Gear. I don't think it is, but it's people that know how to actually make fighting games.
It's a developer that people
used to be a part of this game, and then some of them left and made this.
No, it's the same people.
They're just
making this one.
Yeah. So you've seen some of the Dragon Ball stuff. You're a Dragon Ball fan. So
yeah,
I mean, would you classify yourself as someone that knows?
I mean, I don't hate it.
How do you see some of the gameplay of it?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah,
it looks like.
Have you played the other?
It's a 3v3 fighter.
Okay.
Which is, if you don't know what that is, it's like Marvel versus Capcom and stuff.
Oh,
where
so you switch people.
Yeah, where you have different people. They all have different life bars. They have assists and stuff like that. It's different than Guilty Gear for sure, because Guilty Gear is just a 1v1 regular fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
This game is supposed to be a lot more easier for newer players to get into. Well, typically 3v3 fighting games are, because you're managing 3 characters at once, essentially.
Yeah, you're not just getting obliterated with one.
Like, having assists and stuff like that and knowing your inputs is all really important. But it looks really good. It looks faithful to the art style, which I already thought it would look like, because if you haven't seen Guilty Gear, it's all 3D models, but it's done in a way that they look like 2D cel-shaded anime.
Okay, so Borderlands-ish?
Sort of like that. It looks like you saw what the Dragon Ball. It looks like that, essentially. That's what their style they sort of perfected into.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks really awesome.
Okay, that's good. There's also a game called The Last Night, which is an Xbox exclusive. I've heard this game is being worked on by like 2 people. And
no idea.
They showed it.
Was it that one that looked all like kind of had a retro style to it?
You know, to be perfectly honest, I actually.
Oh, it's the cyberpunk one, right?
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the. No, that's Transformers.
That's Transformers. Why?
No, it's actual nighttime.
Yeah, nighttime, not like. Night.
Oh, I thought I did spell night. Oh, I clicked on a suggested thing.
Yeah, this is Is this the indie like cyberpunk game?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes, it's that like pixelated type stuff.
Sort of like Blade Runner or something like that.
It looked cool.
It looks really good. Yeah. If it's made by 2 people, which I guess
it might be a
indie, while. It looks really good for an indie game.
Yeah.
Like really good.
Yeah. There's also called The Artful Escape was also announced, which is an Xbox exclusive.
No, it
well.
just sounds like more indie game stuff.
Yeah,
to me.
this might have been like that rapid fire situation. This one. Oh yeah, this is like that platformer. This is that platformer game.
Okay.
It looked kind of cool. He played like guitar or something like that. Played some instrument to like do stuff. And then there's Code Vein. I'm getting into stuff at like it's been a while since E3, so I'm trying to like check out everything here.
Oh, this game looks weird.
Oh yes, it does. Oh yeah, this is that like. I want to say it was like RPG-ish, but it was very anime, and I was like, "That's interesting to see on an Xbox."
Yeah, that's
console.
what I was gonna say for an Xbox game.
Yeah.
Is it an exclusive?
No, I did not
Okay.
write exclusive on it though. Yeah. Coming out 2018.
There's gonna be a game called Tacoma.
Yes, there is. It's made by this. We'll get to that in a second. Sea of Thieves was also talked about. I was on the fence of Sea of Thieves last year. I was like, this looks kind of. I don't know what Rare's doing.
It
I
looks
don't
like
know
a
what's doing.
It looks like a cartoony.
I didn't mind the art
dumbed-down,
style.
Like, well,
It-
no,
it
I don't
was
mind the art
just
style.
more-
I'm just saying, I'm just describing it. It looked like
Oh.
a cartoony, like kind of simplified, almost like a. What was the game? Black Flag-ish type of a game.
Because see now they talk about it's obviously gonna be Xbox exclusive since Xbox owns Rare. But you can dive underground. I mean not underground, underwater.
I think it looks
to
interesting.
you can
Yeah, you just freaking burrow underground. You're part mole in
he
this
just
game.
jumps and splat right into the ground. You can dive underwater with your crew and find gold and stuff like that. And then you can search islands for treasures. Apparently, there's like little things you can find that will tell you clues onto finding other things to get more clues to where the treasure's at. And that's coming out early 2018. So there's Microsoft's
I think that's
spring release probably.
I think that's I think that's their big early 2018 game.
They'll probably come out.
I think it'll
March-ish.
I think that'll do well for them.
Tacoma, yes. You ever heard of the game Gone Home? Gone Home. You want me to look it up for you? It was a kind of a walking simulator.
Okay.
Is it that trippy one? It was that trippy one in space, right? Tacoma.
Yes. So it's essentially that. Hopefully I can get the image here. There it is. Remember this? Okay.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. Well, it was a game that came out. It was kind of walking simulator. You walked into a house. This girl comes home from college. She walks in. No one's home. So you're kind of like, this is kind of weird. So your goal in the game is to go find stuff in the house that will allude to why everyone's gone. So you've gone home to find everyone's gone. And so there's kind of a big major spoiler in that game, so I'm not going to tell you what happens. But
They went to get pizza.
exactly, that was actually what happened. So in Tacoma, this is it's in space, and
It's the same kind of premise.
Now here's the other thing. I wrote down Xbox exclusive.
Everybody left Earth though this time.
I think it's on
Is that
PC too.
Well, I mean that doesn't mean anything.
Well, I don't think it's gonna. I don't know if it's on PlayStation.
It might be a console launch. It might be a console because it would be definitely interesting to see that this game is a console exclusive. It comes out August 2nd. Then we also got to see maybe someone that might become a face of Xbox. Super Lucky's Tale.
Maybe for children.
No, but here's the thing. When I saw it, I'm like, the one I immediately thought, this could be like the Sonic. This could be Microsoft Sonic. Essentially, in the sense of like, you got Gears of War, you got Marcus Phoenix, and then you have Master Chief representing Halo. You don't have that like we don't, little kids audience.
Yeah. I get that at work. That's one of the biggest things I get from complaints or from parents is like there's nothing for children.
Yeah,
and I'll show them like, well, we got ukulele, Minecraft, and Lego games, and that's about it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it looked kind of cool. I mean, this is Super Lucky right here.
The way it was playing out, it reminded me a lot of the gameplay from Conker's Bad Fur Day, minus the attitude.
I feel it's the kids' version of Conker.
Yeah, minus that edge that Conker's had.
We also got to see Cuphead finally getting a day.
Cuphead.
Finally getting a day. September 29th is when he comes out. I'm really excited for Cuphead. I've been excited for Cuphead for like 4 years.
That's because it's got that art style you like, that retro Disney.
That Disney look to it. You got Crackdown 3 was also talked about. They got a release date coming this year. November 7th is when they're coming out.
Everybody was a little upset that there weren't any buildings falling down in that.
Well, I mean, Terry Crews is in the thing. So there you go. They also talked about a little bit. They did that whole ID at Xbox little flash mob thing.
Yeah, the only thing that interests me about that is, to be honest with you, I've been looking for an MMO to get into, and I've had my eye on Blackwater for a while, so I am excited to see that coming on the Xbox personally. Yeah,
quickly going through this one, I won't really explain a lot of it, but Observer _ is how it was written, so I was say it like that. Brawl Out, which kind of looked like a Smash Brothers for Xbox. Riverbound and Hello Neighbor are coming here. Obviously, Hello Neighbor
we know that
been
one,
a big deal over there. I don't know what this one is. What is that one? Ashen? Yeah. It's like this kind of gloomy art style to it.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I now remember it, but like I think it was like a puzzly type game. Xbox exclusive. Life is Strange premiered at an Xbox event, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like the new game that's coming out, the one that will be coming out in August apparently. 31st is when it's essentially Life is Strange 2.
Yeah. Well, I think it's supposed to be like from what I understand, it's supposed to be like a prequel.
That's what I heard as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, because it does have a name. It's not Life is Strange 2. They did call it something else. Shadow of War was shown at the Xbox stuff. It was not shown anywhere else, which was interesting. In what I did like about it is now you can like build your army. So like you can have orcs working with you now. So you go and recruit them. That comes out October 8th, 2017. We also got a new Ori game coming out. So Ori and the Blind Forest. You now have Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It looks really great too. And then Phil Spencer came out and he was like, hey, here's the Xbox One X. By the way, or no, I don't think he actually came out. It was someone else. Yeah, he started talking about how everyone liked the Xbox backwards compatibility with 360 consoles. Now we're getting Xbox games back on the market there.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
Yep, Crimson Skies will be coming later this year. And then here's the 4K updates thing. Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon 3, Killer Instinct, Halo Wars 2, and Minecraft are getting updates for 4K for the Xbox One X. So will Rocket League, Ghost Recon Wildlands, Resident Evil 7, and Final Fantasy 15 will all be getting it. Those are the third-party games. And then they talked about the price, and then they showed some gameplay of Anthem.
Yeah.
So, BioWare game, I had javelins is what they call the suits.
The Iron Man suits. Yeah. They're called javelins.
Yeah, and it's an open world. You explore with your friends. You get XP. It's coming 2018.
Yeah.
Quickly, can you run us through what you feel about, like, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I am little nervous that it might. I just don't want it to turn out to be like what Destiny was. You know, I want it to be what it showed us and what it showed us it can be, and not just be just this empty.
See, I'm not a Destiny fan, and even when I saw Destiny,
I'm not a big Destiny fan either.
Because when I saw Destiny, even when it was announced, I was like, I'm still not getting this.
No, see, when it was announced, cool. I was super hyped into Destiny, but then I was excited for it because it looked really interesting, like a first-person shooter MMO game, but that wasn't what we got.
Yeah.
And
later we did.
Later,
2 years later, to be precise.
And because of it, I'm not even excited for Destiny 2. Like, I'm not. I'm not gonna get it day one. I'll probably get it on a sale, like I did. I bought Destiny and all of the content when it was at least half off on sales. I never paid full price for it.
And as a kind of a standing by. I mean, obviously we have Xbox is our console. How do you feel Xbox kind of came out here and did their thing with the Xbox One X, the games?
Oh, for this year?
Yeah. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, they did fine. I didn't think they did terrible.
Okay.
But they weren't my favorite presentation this year, but they did good.
Okay, all right. Going into Bethesda, later that day,
No.
Bethesda talked about VR. They did Doom
I
VR,
was
Fallout
bored.
VR. They were talking about that.
I'm not gonna lie, I was bored during the Bethesda.
Well, it was more of like
thing.
they were just announcing things for things that are out.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Morrowind we talked
Yeah.
about, which was already like had just come out. They talked about Creation Club, which was now a new system.
Paid mods.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't.
Not
they
happening.
already struggled
tried
with
that
that
before.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
No.
why they're doing it again.
No.
Yeah. Well, didn't they like say they were possibly going to do that, and then everyone was like, "Don't do that." And
No,
they didn't
they-
do
No,
that.
they did it on
Steam.
Steam,
They did it
and
on
then
Steam,
they
and
got
backlash.
a giant backlash. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody was like, "We get the mods for free so that we can do all these things. We
That's
don't want
right,
to pay
right,
for
right.
them."
Yeah.
And then they stopped doing it, and
Yeah, I don't
Now
know
they're
what
doing this whole system.
I
now.
don't know why they're thinking of no.
They also talked about the Elder Scrolls Legends, which is their card game, and about how Heroes of Skyrim is coming in September. They also talked about Skyrim, how on the Switch now it will have amiibo support. So
that was the coolest thing about the presentation.
that whole thing.
No.
Well, hold on now, because we're getting to we got Dishonored. We got some DLC coming out called Death of the Outsider coming. And then Quake Champions, BJ Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein is coming in there. Plus, there is apparently $1 million prize pool. But I'm getting into The Evil Within 2
Yeah, I know.
with
I know
sketchy trailer. That was one sketchy trailer.
Yeah, I know a lot of people really liked the first one. I haven't.
It's
played
like
the
a
first
cult
one, but
classic now.
Yeah,
right? It had has a very
niche
audience.
Audience, yeah.
But
I'm actually interested in the second game.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you're the Resident Evil fan.
Well, yeah,
so
I
it's
like survival horrors, and the second one looks like more from what the trailer. Very little gameplay there is.
Yeah.
It looks
the
like
Westworld trailer that
gonna
they
play
decided to
like
put out.
Resident Evil 5 or 6. It's gonna be more sort of actiony, which I don't mind in a survival horror game.
Mm-hmm. It just adds a different element to how you play the game.
I didn't play the first one, so I don't know how exactly it plays out. But I want to try this one.
Mm-hmm. Now, one game that I was really excited for
I do like this.
was Wolfenstein: The New Colossus.
The trailer was cool.
That was amazing. Like, as a fan of Wolfenstein: The New Order, like that was a game that I don't even know why I picked it up. I just bought it, and I bought it for PlayStation 3. I think it was more of because like I wanted to, because on the PlayStation I didn't have any friends over on PlayStation yet. So I was like, all right, I'll just buy some story games.
Mm-hmm.
So like Last of Us was picked up, and then I was like, oh, the
Wolfenstein Among Us.
The Wolfenstein Among Us. Wolfenstein was the New Order came out, and I was like, oh, I've heard about all this stuff. We'll tell you, if you do play the game and you're playing it, and you're like, wow, this is what Wolfenstein is. You get past that first 25 minutes of that game, the game starts, and that's when it starts to get like, okay, this is cool. There are some really difficult parts in that game, but when you beat them, you're like, "Oh, dude, that was good." Like I feel like I did that.
Yeah, the Souls effect.
Well, because sometimes it's also based on like weapons that you have. So if you have ammo for this gun and you know it does this much power, you want to save it a little bit. Use this ammo first, and then when you face the big monster guy, you want to start using the heavier weapon stuff. But did you play Wolfenstein?
The first Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
Or
The
I guess
New
the
Order,
newer version. No, I didn't.
Because this is technically 2 for this series. So
I didn't, but I was interested in this one just because the trailer looked interesting. And
now, do you want to pick up the first one to see? Because I will tell you, the trailer starts off, and you're like, you need to know how he got to where he's at, and that's where it's like, because now you have Anna is introduced in it, and it's so you're like, I don't know, like where this is interesting.
I might pick up the first one. I don't know. I might just watch
now,
like a playthrough or something.
Yeah, you could
like
do that.
I have it. I own it. I have not played it.
It's a good game. It's a really good game.
It's just on my system.
It's
one of those games that's just kind of there. It's on my system.
Yeah.
I just haven't.
It was like Tomb Raider to me.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those games I took a chance on and I fell in love with it.
Oh wow, okay.
So
I had that kind of same experience when I first picked up my PlayStation 3, because at that time I had been kind of off of the console game for a while. So I was like, oh, I'm looking for a first-person shooter to play, and the guy was like, well, there was Fallout 3, or there was like Resistance.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I wanted a more focused story, so I went with Resistance, and I really enjoyed the first Resistance game and the second one. I didn't get to play the third because my PS3 crapped out by then.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed those games.
So overall rating, thumbs up, thumbs down from Bethesda.
I thought it was a thumbs down, personally.
I liked that it was animated. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, you like the little theme park Disneyland
But the thing
look
is,
to
like,
it.
all the things they presented were just like
Kind of just other
the
than
coolest
the two
things
games.
came out at the end.
Yeah.
Which is smart on them, because if they had started out with that and then showed the rest of the stuff, it would have left a horrible taste in people's mouth.
Yeah.
Not that it already did, but
I think ending on Wolfenstein was.
it was a really good.
They had to end with something.
I had a feeling it was coming.
We all
out
know
year,
that
yeah.
there wasn't going to be an Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
No,
Or any
I
new
don't think it was
Fallout.
that good at all.
Yeah.
You know, I the fact that the Switch version of Skyrim will have motion controls.
Yeah, that's.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, if it wasn't $60, I'd probably would purchase it for a 5th or 6th time just to try it out with motion controls.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can punch people in real time.
Yeah.
So on Monday we got Ubisoft.
Yeah.
So this was a big Ubisoft thing. Didn't think they did bad.
This was actually my
liked-
favorite conference.
I actually enjoyed it too.
Yeah,
I actually really.
I was
enjoyed it, too.
surprised. I normally I don't care for them, but
Because this is why I even wrote this at the very end of it. I'll get to that.
Well, because like it opened up with the Mario crossover, right? And
Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
I thought this was. I didn't think it was real. You know.
I saw it and it doesn't resonate with me. I see it. I'm like, it just looks like XCOM with
it is
Mario.
XCOM. It's XCOM with Mario, yes.
And
but I heard
and
it
I
gets
look
very
at it-
complicated.
Yeah, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, this doesn't do it. This just doesn't do it for me personally. And then I was like, this is what they're opening with. The rest of this is
now
gonna suck.
here's why I enjoyed the way that they presented this game.
Mm-hmm.
Is because there's a backstory to this whole thing. You saw the guy crying
Right.
in the crowd.
Yeah.
So that is the creative director, and his dream has always to make something of Mario oriented, Mario game.
Oh.
And so when Miyamoto came up there and he gave him a personal shout out, he broke down crying. And I was like, this is because that was the coolest thing that's ever happened to him in his life. And that's what I loved about the Ubisoft conference. They didn't focus on Aisha Tyler.
I
They
was
didn't
so
get
glad.
something. They didn't give all these things. Here's the thing.
What'd she call it?
I
What was
like
her word? Girlwood or whatever?
Ladywood or something like that.
Yeah.
Here's the
Oh
thing.
god, that was the worst.
I like Aisha Tyler when she's not being forced into a situation. Like when she's herself, like on podcasts and things like that. She's great. That she didn't fit in that sort of situation.
Like
French.
Yeah,
like,
I know she
Ubisoft.
I know she feels like she needs to prove that she's like a gamer and all that. I do think she is a gamer, but I don't think she's good as a game presenter. Yeah.
I mean, it takes. I mean, look at Jesse had a problem too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the game. The whole conference revolved around the developers, and that was something that Ubisoft took amazingly. And like that was every single time a developer came up there, like even it was a very emotional situation. And I'll get to that in a second. But they also talked about it. Obviously, you got to get the big game out there. Assassin's Creed Origins was talked about. They talked a little bit about it because most of the gameplay was shown over on the Xbox side of it. They also announced The Crew 2. Not so much of a good announcement. I don't know why that game got a sequel.
I don't know why either.
I've heard it's actually not very good. I've heard mixed reviews. Let's just say that. I've heard.
Well, we have it. If you have,
I have Crew 2.
Yeah, so it
Well,
was
Crew.
on. It was on Games for Gold. So.
No, I mean this game. People that have played it are getting really mixed on it.
Oh, I got you.
But you can race planes, bikes.
Anything.
There was monster trucks. Yeah. It's motorsport oriented. And it comes out early 2018. Then they talked about South Park: The Fractured But Whole.
I like that.
It's coming out October 17, 2017. That it's a South Park game, and they swore up a storm and that whole thing. Not as much as the game we'll get to later, but they apparently there's a part in the game where you actually go to a strip club.
Oh really?
And it was a demo that you played at E3, and you go to you see everything there, and apparently there's a mini game where these drunk guys think that the kids are strippers. And so there's a mini game of you having to do a strip dance on these grown men. Yep, they're getting away with a lot of stuff, but that's South Park for you. There's also Transference. This was weird.
Was this the one that?
This was the Elijah Wood one.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but I'm.
It's VR. It comes out spring 2018. You hear about this?
Yeah, I remember it very vaguely.
Where it's like you're a test subject. They didn't show much about it, but they're alluding to the fact that you're watching a movie through the eyes of the main character, but like some weird stuff is probably going to happen. They also talked about Skull and Bones, which apparently is running on the Assassin's Creed 4
I think that looks
sailing situation.
I think that looks interesting.
It looks interesting. Better not be $60 because I'm gonna be very angry.
Oh, you know it's gonna be $60.
Yeah, probably.
It's gonna be $60. It's gonna have 4 different.
Because they say you can play by yourself,
well,
but like, I mean,
there's gonna be the standard edition, gold edition, deluxe edition,
Pirate
ultimate
no, it's
edition.
the season. They did the season what?
Pirate edition.
Pirate edition.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. Booty edition.
Yeah.
Call it.
Comes in a chest.
That would be cool.
You remember Borderlands 2? Big special edition came in one of the loot boxes.
It was like $200 for that thing. And they're really hard to find.
Yeah.
Apparently there's like a game type called Loot Hunt, which is a 5v5 thing. Now they showed gameplay of this. It did look kind of cool because essentially it was Assassin's Creed's ship battle thing with 5 players controlling their ships.
Right.
And it was
like,
versus another 5 set of people.
But there's already a game like that that's been in early access for a while called like Black.
Yeah, there
Water.
is, but the difference is like, yes, but you're controlling your own ship. So this is your ship. You're doing your own ship. The other one you're probably talking about is if it's the one that all the YouTubers are playing.
Well, there's a captain and there's guys loading the cannons.
In the crew is an individual player. No, this is like you control your own.
Everybody's controlling their own ship.
Yeah, you upgrade your ship. You make every class has a different.
But
ability.
I thought that's what the blood and bones and whatever one was.
That's what this is.
No, the
what? Skull and Bones? Yeah, this is that.
Oh, okay. We're still talking about that one. Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about like a completely different game. I was like, I don't remember this.
And then they also had like so at the end of each round there's a thing called the pirate hunters go out, and apparently they're really hard to kill.
Well, they're like an AI.
They're essentially
to
push you out of the area. Yeah.
I think that game looks interesting. I will. I don't know. Like
Kraken.
There were Krakens that were shown at the very end of that trailer.
Probably. I really actually am interested in playing that one.
Yeah, fall 2018 is what we're getting. They also did Just Dance 2018.
Of course they did.
They did. It actually started out like I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then they had a dabbing panda. And so that was a little bit of
Here's the thing, okay? I didn't watch the Ubisoft conference live because I was at work. So
I didn't either.
When I got home and I started watching a replay of it, the second I saw that it was a Just Dance, I was like, nope, skip. I skipped to the end of that. I skipped all of it.
Did you see what it's coming to? PlayStation 3, Nintendo Wii, and Xbox 360. And every console. They said it's coming to every console, and they weren't lying.
Because you're just watching a video.
Yeah, October 2017 is when that comes out. Then South Park decided they were going to make a phone game called Phone Destroyer.
Phone Destroyer, yeah.
They also talk about Starlink Battle of Atlas, which was like their Toys to Life type of game.
See, I thought that looked interesting until I saw the physical toy part, and I was like, no.
You don't like it when it's attached to that Frankenstein controller that you're going to have?
Well, no,
because
then it's like, no, because it's like, first of all, I think those kind of things, other than amiibos are kind of their own thing. But when it comes to the games like the Skylanders, I don't know,
I'm still surprised Skylanders is going on.
Yeah, when it comes to games like Skylanders and Lego Dimensions and then the Disney Infinity that failed.
Rest in peace.
I don't like those kind of games. They just rub me the wrong way. Like if that was just what the game was, minus the whole physical toy model compartment of it, I think it would have been just fine. I don't like the fact that in order to upgrade a ship, I have to go out and spend money.
Yeah. Well, the thing was about the reason why I like Disney Infinity was the user created content.
Yeah.
Of like people created this stuff, these little mini games inside Disney Infinity,
that's
and
cool.
that's what made it cool. And then they canceled it, and I was like,
it wasn't
"Come
selling.
on!"
It
And then
selling.
Hey, I bought my Boba Fett, so I'm fine. Like that was the one I was looking for, and I found it. Yeah. So that'll be coming to Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. They also talked about the Steep DLC, the first big DLC
I was
for
probably one of maybe
Road
10,
to the Olympics.
Yeah, I was probably one of the 10 people watching it who are actually excited for that.
Yep.
I actually really enjoy Steep. I have, I've gold medaled everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently, there's like less than like 0.2% of people who've played the game. Like when I got the achievement for it, you know how
yeah,
it says like
really,
how many percent. Yeah, like 0.2% of the people who've played Steep like have gotten
this achievement.
Have gotten like gotten gold medals on all of the little events you can do.
I really not a lot of people.
Yeah, no, there's not a lot of people, and there are a lot of people that actually play that game. Like whenever I go in there, because I play it every now and then, it's still fairly populated.
Oh yeah,
and
it's a great game, great looking game.
I really like that game, so I'm really excited for this DLC.
Another game that was announced, the big one from we've already known was coming out was Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Not a big Far Cry fan. I don't know if
I've played them. I haven't beaten them.
No,
never played a single one.
I could never really get into them.
The fourth one.
Well, not playing that one. I was just joking.
Matt Mercer comes in halfway.
Oh, sweet. Never mind. I'll play.
I don't know if he's in the game.
I could never really get into them.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think this one looks interesting, but
they stole her name, so it's whatever.
I think it has more to do with the setting and the story than anything else.
Yeah, it takes place in Montana. There's Boomer the dog.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good selling point on that one.
The dog's gonna die though.
Probably, most likely.
In the game.
Well, everybody's just gonna name it dog meat.
They talked about co-op, but like I wrote co-op in the story because it looked like it was co-op in the story, but they didn't say that. Well, they just said it has co-op in it.
Well, the last 2 Far Cry games have been very heavy in co-op.
But not in the story, right? It's just been another thing.
Far Cry 4.
Oh, wait, no, Far Cry 4 did have that.
Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal.
I think Far Cry Primal was single player, though.
What? No, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I never played that one.
Yeah.
But I know Far Cry 4 was very heavy in multiplayer.
Yeah. And then, to top it all off, we got Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I'm so excited for that.
You saw the trailer for that.
Yeah, I was pumped.
Now, how did you like the art style that they were going with?
It was good.
Yeah, because like I like the monkey guy.
No, so like a
lot of F-bombs.
I'm really a game has to interest me in like art style and visuals and like gameplay. Well, this didn't really have gameplay, but personality, you know.
Yeah. Have you seen the tech demo videos that they released just recently where they showed
I just watched this thing.
They so just a couple days ago or like last week they started releasing in-game asset and tech demos of it, and it looks like the trailer.
Oh really?
Like it looks really good. Now, granted, they're playing it on a PC in 4K.
Yeah.
But like they showed a ship. And then they opened it up, and a ship came out of it, and then you came out of that, and then like it's all to scale, and it was really like that's pretty much all it was, but it was really cool, and it looks really good. And he was just saying like, the reason why you're here is you're just like delivering a pizza, and then you can just see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah. Did you play the first one?
No, I didn't.
I did.
Because it was an Xbox game, right?
Oh, it's on GameCube too.
Oh, yeah, it was on it was a cross-platform game back
then. I always wanted to play it, but when I was younger, I couldn't play M-rated games. My parents wouldn't let me, and that game came out 2003, 2004.
Wasn't Beyond Good and Evil?
There's an HD.
Yeah, it was free, right? No, hasn't it?
It was free on Games for Gold.
Yes.
Backwards compatible.
Yes.
But there was an HD version of it on Xbox 360.
So the one that we got for free was the HD version. It is the HD. It does say
it is the 360 HD version.
It still doesn't look very good.
No,
it looks very clunky.
No,
I haven't played it though.
I mean, that game is.
I've played like the couple.
I really enjoyed it. The story looks almost like I'm having a hard time seeing where the story is gonna get meshed with this one.
Oh, it's prequel. This one's a prequel.
Right, but like it's very different. It feels very different, and I don't know if that's just because it's visually, more realistic or not. But I don't know. But I'm excited because I really did enjoy the first Beyond Good and Evil. It had like this. It's like a third-person sort of platformy with stealth mechanics, and it was really enjoyable.
How did you like the humor, the tongue-in-cheek?
It was great. As soon as I saw a monkey like gambling with a pig and the monkey had like a robot arm, I was hooked immediately. I was
literally, you were hooked.
Yeah, I was hooked immediately. And then they flying little hover bikes in this like sort of dystopian like society looking rundown place, and I was
futuristic
like,
type of thing. Yeah.
I was like,
that looked like Blade Runner. That with what they were going with there.
I was like, I'm down.
All right. Thumbs up, thumbs down from
Good.
Ubisoft.
Thumbs up.
I thought they were doing good too. we are into PlayStation. We got 2 more conferences. We got PlayStation. They were pretty rapid fire as well.
The PlayStation I didn't actually watch.
I didn't
Okay.
watch the last 2. All I
Yeah.
did was like see recaps of them.
Because
So-
I started watching the PlayStation one, and then I thought that there was like an audio issue.
There's
at
an
the
audio
beginning.
issue for the first like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I thought it was an audio issue, and so then like, oh, I'll just come back and watch a replay of it when it's all fixed, and then I just never did.
it was never fixed. So they talked about the Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which is the DLC coming with the standalone DLC for Uncharted 4.
That's one with Chloe, right?
Yes.
Chloe's one of my favorite characters. in that game.
And then also the character from Uncharted 4.
I haven't played Uncharted 4.
You got Horizon Zero Dawn getting the
Their
Frozen
DLC.
Wilds DLC.
Yeah.
Days Gone was talked about. They were showing it. Looks really good. Days Gone is the zombie game that coming out of Bend, which is Bend, Oregon. So, and then there was this no-name game that I didn't get to see a title for. It was like you tackle this Tyrannosaurus Rex looking thing.
As you do.
And but all it said was early 2018. So I must have missed it or something.
No, that was
Maybe
the name of the game.
that was it. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, moving on to Shadow of the Colossus remake. Everyone in the crowd seemed as if they thought it was Shadow of the Colossus 2. And you should know,
Yeah,
if
I
they're
know,
announcing
that's-
Shadow of the Colossus 2 right now, you ain't getting that game for like 10 years. So
I feel
If
bad
it was
for
Shadow of
those.
the Colossus 2, I'd be excited.
I feel bad for the people who thought it was Shadow of Colossus 2, and
Bro.
then they found out it was just a remake. I would have been like heartbroken.
yeah, it comes out 2018. I don't know why it's taking so long to make an HD version of that game.
I
Apparently, it
think
looks really
they're
good.
they're probably. I think they're making it from scratch. That's
Maybe.
why. I don't think they're.
I mean, it's a PlayStation 2 game.
Well, no. The
so-
thing is, I think they're doing what Gears of War did with the first one. Where,
Ultimate.
Yeah, the Ultimate Edition,
Yeah.
where they just remade it from scratch.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing
Might-
with this
might
one too.
They also talked about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Come out September 19th.
I know people who play fighting games really liked Marvel vs. Capcom
I'm
games.
gonna tell you right now
I've
that art
never
style
played
looked
them.
like trash. I don't know about you.
That's
What?
how they've always looked, though.
Did you see the art style of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
Well, I think Marvel vs. Capcom 2 looks good.
That's different art style, man.
That's when they still use pixels, but
Let's see if I can get some.
I don't know. I don't think a lot of Capcom's games.
They're like these bulgy looking weird things.
I don't think a lot of Capcom's games, or fighting games, I should say, more specifically,
Like, look at this.
have translated really well into 3D. Like, because in comparison, if you look up, well, you know,
Street
Dragon
Fighter?
Ball
Oh,
Fighter
Dragon
Z and also Guilty Gear, then those guys, even though I don't know if they classify as indie. They're a very small team though. They make their 3D characters look very good and true, I guess, to their characters.
Now is the Dragon Ball games are like Pokken, right? Where it's like that 3D.
No,
Or that
no, it's
360.
not 3D.
Those
It's-
are
No,
the
it's
those are the
just
Xenoblade
side-
Chronicle one. No, not Xenoblade. The
No.
Xenosphere, where the Dragon Ball.
That's a different. That's not
Okay,
the
yeah.
fighting
Okay.
Dragon
Yeah.
Ball
So-
Fighter Z.
so
This
this
is
one-
a regular 2D.
Okay.
It's a 3v3 fighter, so you have your 2 assist characters that you can swap between.
Yeah.
And then it's just a fight grid, or not grid, but you know, just a regular fighting.
Yeah. Just like it's Street Fighter.
Yeah,
Mortal
just like
Kombat
Street Fighter
kinda
and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird looking. That's
Yeah,
just all I got from
I also think it's due to the fact, well, one, for whatever reason, Capcom, I don't know. I guess this is part of their style too. Is their proportions on characters are always like really really weird.
it. Yeah, and
like-
then Chung Li, she started talking, and she has this like kind of this white girl accent to her too, and that really threw me off.
Well, actually, did you know that Chun-Li is voiced by Laura Bailey? Yeah.
Okay, well, see, that
Which
should not happen.
But ever since Street Fighter 4, which is when they started having English voice acting, and no offense to Laura Bailey, because I
Yeah.
love
Yeah,
Laura
oh, yeah,
Bailey.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
how much.
yeah.
But for me, it's so weird because for all
Hearing
those fighting
the
games,
voice come out.
you've heard them since Street Fighter 3 up to Street Fighter 3. I mean, you've heard them only speak in Japanese, and so
and they're here.
yeah, and so when you get to Street Fighter 4, it's so weird to hear like them have English voice actors too.
Yeah.
So it's just strange.
Yeah. Call of Duty World War II was also shown at the PlayStation conference as well. It looks great. I'm probably gonna buy it just because it's 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 World War II and it's a Call of Duty game, and most likely there will be zombies. It's Sledgehammer. Here's the thing. I have one rule. I have one rule with the Call of Duty games. I don't buy Infinity Ward. I just don't want those games. They've failed me too many times. I didn't like the Modern Warfare series. I'm sorry. That's not what got me into Call of Duty. That comes out like I said, November 3rd. They talked about Skyrim VR coming to PSVR.
That's cool.
Heard that
I think that's awesome.
It looks really janky though.
I know.
Watch that trailer.
No, I know.
Even the trailer looked terrible.
Yeah, no, the arms are all over the place. I'm not
because they're like
that was. But no. Like,
over.
I would play Skyrim again for that though. Any way to get me into Skyrim again?
That's crazy. Okay,
I'll do it.
I mean, would you play it VR with motion controls?
Yeah.
I mean, you're essentially.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing.
Yeah. I'll try it out.
So there's also
cool. As long as they don't have to do like I want to stand here and point there and stand there. I don't like doing that.
This was also the introduction to all their VR games. So you got Star Child, which was a platforming VR game, which is interesting. The Impatient, I don't know what that was like.
I said,
it looked like an Outlast kind of thing, but it was weird.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't actually watch the Sony conference, so I have no idea anything about.
Well, you missed this gem, Monster of the Deep, which is a Final Fantasy 15 fishing game coming fall 2017 to the PSVR. Yes, everything about that exists, and everything about that is actually going to happen.
I think this is the only good direction Final Fantasy can go.
Once you've gone here, it's now what do you do?
See, they have to start going Fishing in the Deep 2, and then it's going to be Fishing in the Deep 15.
Yeah, and they've lost. They don't even have Final Fantasy in it anymore. It's just called this now.
It's just a fishing game.
Yeah,
a fishing RPG.
Yeah, exactly. Who are they going to compete against? But Bass Pro Shop? Like, they also talked about Bravo Team, which is an FPS PSVR game. There was this game called Moss, which is like you have oh gosh, what's that Studio Ghibli movie with the guy with the mask on it? You know it.
Spirited Away?
Yes, the one that takes the money, has the weird
that's No Face. That's No Face.
So you're essentially that guy, and you run around with this mouse and you do this thing. It looked okay. I was just like, I was a little confused on what you were supposed to do or what kind of game it was. I think you're gonna stand like outside of it, and then you can like, I don't know, it's weird. And you tell him what to do. They also talked about God of War. Obviously, it's the big 2018 game that's coming from PlayStation. They showed a little bit more of Detroit. Now it has Become Human. So Detroit Become Human is what the game is now called. That's their Heavy Rain development team is now making this game. Destiny 2 was also announced which is always weird to see Bungie show up at a PlayStation event, it's kind of weird looking at it. Yeah. And PlayStation's getting exclusive strikes, maps, ships.
Just like with Destiny.
Yeah, but this sounds like they're keeping that.
Right.
So you get this. If you're on PlayStation, you get it.
Right.
And Xbox and PC players do not get it.
They had that. That was the same. There is stuff on Destiny for first Destiny on PlayStation 4 that you can't get on Xbox.
Yeah, that's
there
lame.
Still is.
That's lame.
Yeah.
Then there's also they ended the conference with Spider-Man, which was the big deal. Comes out 2018. He talks to himself, which I kind of liked. You know, he does the little like, oh, that's cool. Like he'll mention like if the big dude comes out, he goes,
Spider-Man, sure.
Yeah. And so they showed Miles Morales. They didn't confirm that that's the Spider-Man, but they said, you know, I mean, he is a Spider-Man. Peter Parker is obviously the other the Spider-Man we all know.
There will be 5 Spider-Men.
Exactly, Spider-Man. It's just it's a team now.
Yeah.
No,
there's no longer there's no the Defenders. There's no Avengers. We just have the Spider-Men.
No, this exists already. It's called the Spider-Verse.
Well, there's that, but I mean like.
That has Spider-Man, Spider-Pig, Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
Wait,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Pig?
Yeah. That's a real thing. It's not a thing Homer Simpson made up in the movie.
Yeah.
It's got Spider-Man 2099. It's got, yeah.
That's if you played Shattered Dimensions, you'll You'll know who that is. Now we go into our last one. I know this part has been really long. It's gonna make the episode really, really long. But hey, you know what? We just got to do it. Nintendo. It was the final one. This is your territory now.
Yeah.
We got Rocket League.
Even though we're the only ones here that own a Switch, this is his area.
But Rocket League is coming in holiday 2017.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think it's awesome.
Cross-network compatibility,
Yeah.
connectivity. I spelled connectivity wrong for some reason.
It's fine. Don't worry.
And then they talked about Pokken Tournament DX. Did you get Pokken?
Yeah, I had played the original.
How do you feel about
No,
them?
I think it's a
just adding
cool game. It makes sense that they're adding the arcade because that version, well, another updated arcade version because that's what they've done with fighting games for so long. Until recently, until this console generation, pretty much. The only thing I have to say is, like, from what I hear competitively, Pokken is kind of boring to watch because a lot of people are very, very careful because it's a rock paper scissors game where there's like grab,
that's how Pokemon is. Yeah,
grab, beat, shield. This beats that. Like they cancel each other out and then go into and there's really long, like there's guaranteed combos and setups and stuff like that already. But so a lot of people are afraid because it's essentially whoever gets the first hit in, I guess, from what I've heard and some of the videos I've seen, whoever gets the first hit in essentially wins. So I don't know competitively if it'll do well, but I think the suckiest thing about Pokken, and this was also partly due to the Wii U dying at the same time, is it wasn't advertised a lot.
It just came out.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why the community died off so fast for that game. Whereas I think for this game, I think they should do a little bit better to advertise that. I mean, it's a Pokemon game, which should already get people interested. And it has quite a bit of cool characters, I think.
Mm-hmm. They introduced a few characters that are getting introduced into the
they have like from current generation they have Decidueye, they have
didn't they introduce
Toxicroak or something, or not Toxicroak?
They introduced that one that you like, right? Or was that already in there? The one with the Pokeball, like she turns into a Pokeball. She has this. No, that's different. But yeah, there was one that was like a machine that turns into a Pokeball.
Oh, Gear now?
Yeah, something like that. She's in a game, I think. Maybe.
I don't know. She might be an assist because there's also assist Pokemon too.
Geez, there's like this subclass now. Yeah. So going off of like esport type of stuff, they also talked about like how they wanted. They really kind of showed a few games that they were trying to aim for that. They talked about ARMS, which was coming out earlier that week.
I played a bit of that.
Or later that week. I did play a little bit too. I'm like, this is fun.
It's hard for
when
me.
I play it on someone else's console. Like, I'm not gonna buy it.
I would consider buying it, but it's really weird to play. Like, I'm not used to a game that's like that. You know what I'm saying?
They also talked about Splatoon 2 a little bit. They showed a little bit of that.
I want to get that for sure.
FIFA 18 apparently is like the FIFA that we are gonna get on main consoles, but without the story mode. It doesn't have the story, which is a little interesting.
Wait, why is that?
I guess it's too big to do that. I don't know.
Okay.
And then they also
there's swearing in it.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Like I said, once Binding of Isaac went onto the Switch, they have no limits at this point.
Well, it's on 3DSs too.
Binding of Isaac?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is also announced. Holiday 2017, which was very interesting because like when you look at Xenoblade Chronicles on the first one, it already looked really good, and now we're getting it in this like, I don't know. I think it's going to be great being on like a portable system.
I think it's really cool how much they're supporting that series because they had Xenoblade Chronicles, then they had X, which came out last year now, right?
That was the Wii U one.
Yeah,
right?
that was the Wii U one. And now they have 2. And so it's kind of cool to see like that they're actually supporting this series,
Well, I mean, I remember when Xenoblade Chronicles the X one came out, and everyone was like trying to get that game for Wii U.
Yeah, you couldn't find it. It
was a really popular game. They also announced a Kirby game coming in 2018, which I'm really excited for. I love the little pink guy.
Yeah, Kirby's great.
They also did tease that there's a core RPG Pokemon game coming. They didn't say what it's gonna be, but they said it'd take about a year to make, so possibly 2018. So most likely it's on its way. They talked about Metroid Prime. They just showed Metroid Prime 4.
A logo, yeah.
That's all they needed
now
to
in
do.
development. Yeah, exactly. So we might see that again next year, and that'll probably be their big 2019 release. It'll probably be Pokemon and then Metroid next year, or the 2019. Another Yoshi game coming out in 2018. I guess it's just called Yoshi. They didn't have a name to it.
No,
This is the
what is it?
reboot of the series where he goes hardcore.
Yeah, it's like they kept talking about flipping things. So like each level has a reverse of it.
Mhm.
So you flip it over and then you have like this back wall to it. They also talk about Fire Emblem Warriors.
Mhm.
You're a big Fire Emblem guy.
Yeah.
Okay, fall 2017 is this gonna probably push you towards buying a Switch now?
Well, that's what I wanted to buy a Switch for in the first place.
Was Fire Emblem?
Besides that and the actual console main Fire Emblem game that will be for it. But from the gameplay that I've seen of it, it looks really interesting. They kept the weapon triangle in the game. They have critical hits. They have leveling up.
Mm-hmm.
They even have the little cutscenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they do their little combat.
See, that's what I'm wanting to see. Like, I want to see more, because Nintendo has all those anime-looking characters already. I want to play a game kind of like Persona 5. Like, even in Persona 5, like, there's the cutscene. Whoop, that'd be really bad. There's this cutscene of, it looks like a full-fledged show, and then they get back into the game and they're all 3D animated. And there's like a slight drop in quality. I'm waiting for the moment where there's no drop in quality.
You mean like what is it, Ni no Kuni?
Ni no Kuni's
the
kind of like
PlayStation
that,
4?
yeah.
Why don't
Or
you,
they're getting Ni no Kuni
Or,
too.
I mean on the PlayStation, but I
Well,
mean
if
like
you
the
want to
PS3
play
version.
Nintendo Persona, why don't you play Tokyo Mirage Sessions?
What is that?
It's made by Atlas and the Fire Emblem team.
So what about
Intelligent
Shinigami
Systems.
Tensei? Or not Shinigami Tensei. Wait, that is the one. What's the one on Nintendo?
Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Fire Emblem or whatever. It's
Oh.
SMT if.
Yeah, okay.
That was the code name for it.
Got it. That's what it was.
It's not. Well, some people like it, but I haven't gotten a chance to play it, so I can't say. I just remember being very disappointed.
Yeah. They also talked about the Breath of the Wild DLC stuff, the Master Trials, the Champions Ballard. I don't know. That's all. Yeah. Comes out. Yeah. And then they talked about Mario Odyssey for the final thing. They just showed a little trailer. It was like, you throw hats on things, you get to control them.
Yeah.
Little frog, giant Tyrannosaurus Rex, a human being, those kind of things. What'd you think about the Odyssey, the
Oh, it's
Mario?
interesting.
It looked interesting, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I literally haven't played a Mario game since I haven't beat a Mario game since Super Mario 64. I played Super Mario Sunshine, but I didn't get very far.
Galaxy's the only one that interests me that I've never played. The other ones are kind of this. Yeah.
I had no desire to own a Wii, so I'd never played the Galaxy games.
Mhm.
So.
I had a Wii, I didn't buy the Galaxy games. But anyway, that is an hour and probably 20 minutes of E3 right there. Nintendo, yay or nay on their conference. I don't think we even did PlayStation. So PlayStation, yay or nay on their conference.
I don't. There was nothing fresh.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts
Not
3.
enough new.
There was no Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah,
there was no
well,
Last of Us.
It wasn't in their conference, but they released it before. Or
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Which they should
There
have
was nothing
thrown
in the
in there, but-
PlayStation one that
Mhm.
I thought Xbox was all right. I think the only reason why I really liked the Xbox was for Anthem. That
Mhm.
was it.
Yeah.
The Xbox One X, we already pretty much knew all about it going into it. But for PlayStation, a lot of stuff that I noticed was just either remake Shadow Colossus and DLC for Uncharted and
There was God of War. I mean, if you're a God of War fan.
Oh, yeah.
well, I'm not a
God
God
of
of War
War,
fan.
yeah.
So.
So overall, who do you think won? You said
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft?
Ubisoft. Yeah.
I think
Ubisoft
I
Coders.
gotta give it to them too. As much
Yeah.
as I, sometimes
I like
it
their
was
passion.
they're targeting. Because I was gonna mention this when the Evil Within 2 guy, the guy in the gal went up there, and they after everyone saw the trailer and everyone was cheering, the guy like teared up, and I'm like, see that. Those are the people that need to be shown on the TV. Not this Aisha Tyler stuff, not bringing in musical artists, which they did this year. They did bring a musical artist in. But I'm just saying, like, if they went out there and they just said, like, hey, this guy made this game, and they've been making it for, like, 15 years.
Yeah.
And, like, now they're able to finally say what they've been doing, and people, You know, that's what I liked about Ubisoft.
Right, and I think the big thing the big thing I think that what turned me off to the PlayStation conference, other than the sound not functioning, is the little opening musical skit that they did.
Oh, you didn't like the
I'm like, yeah, like it started, and I'm like, I know it's supposed to be some. I'm like, I saw it. I'm like, all right,
it's supposed to be a theater presentation.
Well, I saw it, and I'm watching. I'm like, all right, so this is probably for something for Uncharted.
It was.
Let's just
sort of.
It was just like, just play us the trailer and not this extra crap, because I'm not interested in this.
I'm not there. Like, I don't want to watch
Yeah, it's like.
All right.
Even if I was there,
any
I would have been there. Like,
any games that you saw that you were like, that's
Anthem
the win.
and
Anthem won E3 for you?
I don't know if it won. For me, I think that would have to be Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil won it for you. Okay.
I think for me that was probably the one that stood out probably the most. But the one I'm probably the most excited for is Anthem.
What about you?
The 2 games I was interested in was Beyond Good and Evil 2 and that one game that you said the Wolf. Oh, Wolfenstein.
The Wolfenstein Among Us.
Wolfenstein Among Us.
Yeah.
The ultimate crossover.
Yeah, you know, I have to say Evil Within 2 as well, and Wolfenstein. So I guess our winner of Primal Target's pick was Evil Within 2.
Yeah, even though we didn't see any gameplay, we just saw the trailer.
Yeah.
But when you guys get a chance, go on YouTube, because you can find the director, the gentleman that was up there talking about it. He'll go through and he plays, you know, in real time.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about Beyond Good and Evil 2,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Not the Evil Within 2, because you guys keep saying the Evil.
Did I say Evil Within?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I said Beyond
Good and Evil.
I was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I mean, I am excited for that game
No,
too. but-
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
But
Yeah.
no, you should watch it just to even though he doesn't really do anything, he just kind of shows off a
Yeah.
couple things.
I mean, that's what it is.
It's
a demo.
It's totally worth it, because you really get an idea of what they're trying to do with this game just by watching that.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it was a long one, but if you made it through it all, thank you so much. Make sure you comment section below what your favorite thing of E3 this year of 2017 was for you. We're going to move on to our next topic. Even though that one went a little bit long, it's still, we're breaking them up part by part. So